First off, I know I look like a sweaty mess, but that's because I just finished organizing my entire bookshelves, which I have a whole video for, so I'll link that down below for you if you're interested before you really delve into my shelves and when I show you every single book that I own, which is going to add to your TBR, let's be honest. Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video I am going to be doing my bookshelf tour, which I actually was not planning on filming this year because if you've been following me for the last maybe like 5 months or so, then you know that I turned around every single unread book on my shelf, which sounds crazy and unbelievable, but I have a whole video of me doing that as well. Just, you know, just subscribe. Just do yourself a favor and just click that subscribe button. So before we just immediately dive in, I'm going to answer some very frequent questions that I normally get. So my books mostly consist of adult, fantasy, and sci-fi. I have 3 whole shelves full of it, and then I have a 4th shelf that is actually on the opposite wall right behind you. That is my YA/middle grade shelf. I got all 4 of my shelves from Walmart. Yes, those very cheaply made, like $20 shelves, but I've had this one for years and it's done me some good. So I treat it with love and it stays up, shelves unbent. It works. I own a total of around 400 or so books. I am really honing down the books that I keep because I have very limited space. I only want to keep my favorites and books I'm incredibly excited to read about. I get most of my books from publishers, which I'm very grateful for, and I also buy my books for very cheap, mostly used on Amazon. Like, I will not buy a book new ever unless I get an arc of it and I read it and I really loved it and I want to pre-order it to support the author. So I think that is it. I know you guys are very excited, so let's go ahead and start with the top of this shelf, which is one of my favorites because Joe Abercrombie, I gotta mention him at least once in every single video, let's be honest. Starting at the very top of the shelf, I have my Brian McClellan books, starting with Sins of Empire, Promise of Blood, The Crimson Campaign, and The Autumn Republic. Going down a shelf, we have The Waking Fire and The Legion of Flame by Anthony Ryan, The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, The Hero of Ages, and Skyward, all by Brandon Sanderson. 12 Kings and Shara Kay and The Blood Upon the Sand by Bradley P. Bailu. The Shadow of What Was Lost and An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. And The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Going down a shelf, I have Malice, A Time of Dread, and A Time of Blood by John Gwynne, The City Stained Red, The Myrtle Tally, and 7 Blades in Black by Sam Sykes, Chronicles of the Black Company, and The Books of the South by Glenn Cook, Battle Mage, Blood Mage, and Chaos Mage by Stephen Aryan, and I have Mageborn, also by Stephen Aryan, Soulkeeper by David Daglish, Dragon Weather by Lawrence Watt Evans, The Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Dorfey, We Ride the Storm by Devin Madsen, The Blood-Tainted Winter by T.L. Greylock. Going down a shelf, we have my Joe Abercrombie section, so starting with the UK edition of Half a King, which is also signed, and then I have Half a King, Half the World, and Half a War, The Blade Itself, Before They Are Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings, Best Served Cold, The Heroes, and Red Country, and A Little Hatred, all by Joe Abercrombie. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Haro, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters, Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett, and The Borrow by Mark Smiley. Going over to my second shelf, I have I Hate Fairyland Book 1 by Scotty Young, the anniversary edition of the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks, The Blade Itself, Before They Are Hanged, and Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, The Lives of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch, and The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rolfes. Going down a shelf, Age of Assassins, Blood of Assassins, and King of Assassins by R.J. Barker. Torn and Frey by Rowena Miller, The Tethered Mage, The Defiant Heir, and The Unbound Empire by Melissa Caruso, Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Callender, A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe, and A Whole Big Deal for the Whole Galaxy by Alex White, Rosewater by Tade Thompson, Annex by Rich Larson, Children of Time, and Children of Ruin by Adrian Tchaikovsky, 3, Morningside Fall, and Dawnbreaker by Jay Posey. Going down a shelf, we have The Red Knight, The Fell Sword, The Dread Worm, and a Plague of Swords by Miles Cameron, The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams, The Traitor God by Cameron Johnson, A Demon in Silver by R.S. Ford, Kill the Queen by Jennifer Estep, Paternus and Wrath of Gods by Dark Ashton, Duskfall and Dark Emulation by Christopher Hesburgh, Soulless Lost and Wisdom Lost by Michael Slider, Stranger of Tempest and Princess of Blood by Tom Lloyd, The Thief, The Queen of Atolia, The King of Atolia, A Conspiracy of Kings, and Thick as Thieves by Megan Wallen Turner. Going down a shelf, we have Kings of the Wild and Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. These are the signed limited edition hardcovers. And then I have Kings of the Wild and Bloody Rose, also by Nicholas Eames, and these are the paperback editions. Sinless Sins, Arm of the Sphinx, The Hod King by Josiah Bancroft, The Wolf and the Whale by Jordana Max Brodsky, Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, The Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell, You Die When You Die by Angus Watson, The Armored Saint, and The Queen of Crows by Mike Cool. The Court of Broken Knives by Anna Smith Spark, The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, Pet Sematary by Stephen King, and Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. Going down a shelf, I have The Fifth Ward by Dale Lucas, Cold Iron and Dark Forge by Miles Cameron, The Wolf and the Spider by Leo Carew, The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, The Games House by Claire North, The Dwarves and Raging Storm by Marcus Heights, The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hannaran, The Tiger's Daughter, and The Phoenix Empress by K. Arsenault Rivera, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, Age of Iron by Angus Watson, Priest of Bones by Peter McLean, The Winter Road by Adrian Selby, The Dragon Lords Fool's Gold by John Hollins, and An Orc on the Wild Side by Tom Holt. Going down a shelf, this one is a little bit hard to show you because it's partially behind my bedpost, but the first one is Daughters of the Storm by Kim Wilkins, The Novice, The Inquisition, The Battle Mage, The Outcast, and The Summoner's Handbook, all by Taran Matharu, Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, The Savage Song and Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, The Reader and the Speaker by Tracy Chee, Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas, Midnight Thief and Daughter of Dusk by Olivia Blackburn, Stitching Snow by R.C. Lewis, Warcross by Marie Lu, Ever the Hunted by Aaron Summerall, Scythe by Neil Schusterman, Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Going over to the third tall shelf, we have Skullsworn, The Emperor's Blades, The Providence of Fire, and The Last Mortal Bond by Brian Stavely, Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns and Emperor of Thorns, Prince of Fools, The Liar's Key, and The Wheel of Otium, and Red Sister, all by Mark Lawrence. Going down a shelf, there's not a whole lot on this one, but I have Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey, Places in Darkness by Chris Bruckmeyer, Adrift by Rob Beauford, The Last Astronaut by David Wellington, Velocity Weapon by Megan E. O'Keefe, The Wastelanders by K.S. Murbeth, The Alchemist of Loom by Elise Kova, Our War by Craig DeLuey, The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep by H.G. Perry, Outpost by W. Michael Gear, and One Word Kill by Mark Lawrence. Going down another shelf, we have Jade City by Fonda Lee, Time Salvager and Time Siege by Wesley Chu, Semiosis by Sue Burke, Jade War by Fonda Lee, Child of a Mad God by R.A. Salvatore, Nevernight and God's Grave by J. Kristoff, City of Lies by Sam Hawke, The Raven Tower by Ann Leckie, The Witch's Kind by Louisa Morgan, Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan, The Queens of Ines Lear by Tessa Gratton, The Grey Bastards and the True Bastards by Jonathan French, The Warded Man by Peter V. Brett, The Grim Company and the Sword of the North by Luke Skull, and King of Ashes by Raymond E. Feist. Going down, we have yet another YA shelf, and the first one is Grave Mercy, Dark Triumph, and Immortal Heart by Robin Lefevers, Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue by Kristen Kishore, Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow, and Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, Spirits and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes, Want by Cindy Pon, Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Nouvelle, Bird Box by Josh Mallerman, Nightmares, The Sleepwalker Tonic, and The Lost Lullaby by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller, The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, The Last Ever After, and the Ever Never Handbook by Suman Chinani. Walk on Earth a Stranger, Like a River Glorious, and Into the Bright Unknown by Ray Carson. Going over to my YA/middle grade shelf, I actually can't reach these top books, so I can't show you the covers, but they're very well known anyways. The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian, The Last Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan as well. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, The Order of the Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, all by J.K. Rowling. Then I have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the Hufflepuff edition, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Tales of Beedle the Bard, and Quidditch Through the Ages, The Boundless by Kenneth Opel. Going down a shelf, we have The Sword of Summer, The Hammer of Thor, and The Ship of the Dead, The Hidden Oracle, and The Dark Prophecy, also by Rick Riordan. Furthermore, and Witchwood by Tahira Mafi, Dollmaker of Kakuf by R.M. Romero, The Glass Sentence, The Golden Specific, and The Crimson Skew by S.E. Grove, The Search for Wandla, The Hero for Wandla, and The Battle for Wandla by Tony Ditzlerizzi, Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger, Sherwood by Megan Spooner, Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer, Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine, and Dark of the West by Joanna Hathaway. Going down a shelf, we have Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, Rule by Ellen Goodlett, Beneath the Citadel by Destiny Soria, Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart, We Roll the Night by Claire Eliza Bartlett, House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig, Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, The Wicked Deep by Shia Earnshaw, The Splintered Silence by Kayla Olson, These Rebel Waves by Sarah Rosh, The Beholder by Anna Bright, The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano, Sea Fire by Natalie C. Parker, Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leake, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, Wild Beauty by Anna Marie Micklemore, Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolfe, To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, The Cerulean by Amy Ewing. Going down a shelf, we have Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. These are the Beacon Book Box exclusive dust jackets. Fairest and Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson, The Girl of Fire and Thorns, The Crown of Embers, The Bitter Kingdom by Ray Carson, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Going down another shelf, we have And I Darken, and Now I Rise by Kristen White, Heartless by Marissa Meyer, Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is also a Beacon Book Box exclusive dust jacket. Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, King of Scars, and The Language of Thorns, all by Leigh Bardugo, Dance of Thieves, and Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, Furyborn, and Kingsbane by Claire Legrand, Truth Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard, The Last Namsara by Kristen Cicerelli, The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholk, The Traitor's Kiss by Aaron Beatty, Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan, The Cruel Prince and the Wicked King by Holly Black, Daughter of the Burning City, Ace of Shades, and King of Fools by Amanda Foody. Alrighty, so that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down below if you saw any favorites or some books that I'm missing that I need to add to my bookshelves, like one of your favorites, because I would love to know. Go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, because it helps me out so much. And don't forget to subscribe. I upload videos every single week. Follow me on Instagram at Holly Hearts Books and on Twitter at HollyNiece. And until we meet again, happy reading.